In a truly unexpected twist of fate, Pathologic had an update today. Didn't see that one coming. I assume it was just a hotfix. There's probably a bug or something, or a crash that it fixed. I've had a few crashes while playing through this, so it'd be quite nice if it never happened again. Yeah, genuinely unexpected. I actually got a bit excited because uh, when Steam brought up the pop-up to say, hey, this game's updating, it was like there was a button to view updates and I clicked it, but it just took me to like the latest news on the game. And the latest news was an article from like 2019 about the upcoming release of Pathologic 2, and I was like, oh shit, is Pathologic 2 like actually getting finished, getting some proper content and everything. But then I saw the date and got a bit sad. But for a fleeting moment, I was like, hey, maybe I can actually finally look into the fully realized version of this game. But it seems like that's just never going to happen now, right? And Pathologic 2 apparently only has the Bachelor's campaign in it, and doesn't look like it's ever going to get the other two. And obviously this version of the game is not exactly the ideal either. There's plenty of flaws with the OG game, and obviously it was never truly completed properly. So it's a shame. It's a shame. It really is. It would be nice to see this. I mean, it's got quite a cult following, so I don't know why Pathologic 2 never really got finished. Don't know what really went on with that, but obviously the cult following wasn't a big enough cult, I guess.
Neither the sun nor death can be looked at without winking. Who said that?
You said that. Crime is seriously getting out of hand. Where are all these scoundrels coming from? It's as if their numbers double every hour. Knives everywhere. It's time to put an end to them. We should catch Grief and have him executed. Make an example of him for challenging the new order. You know, that doesn't exactly make you seem like the good guy saying things like that. What did Grief do to upset you so? His men are murdering civilians in the streets. All the crimes committed in the town right now are committed under his consent, some under his direct orders. Are you sure they're his men at all? Are you sure they're his men at all? You can't just ask the exact same question back at me, Alex. That's not how conversation works. I thought a few locals were dared to take up a knife. That's correct. The lack of authority is bewitching to them. The violation of an ages-long taboo. It's like mass hysteria. This needs to be stopped. Any brave soul who manages to put a stop to their rampage will receive a sizable reward. I shall pay 30,000 for such a feat. If this keeps on, I'll start giving rewards for every dead criminal. At any cost, by whatever means, this bloodbath needs to be stopped. Alright, I'll deal with them myself then. I guess we're going to go have a word with Grief. I mean, I've got nothing against the bloke. He's a bit of a weirdo, but he's not like actively caused me any issue, like, ever. In fact, he's been relatively useful in that he will sometimes sell useful stuff that you can't get elsewhere in the game. But 30,000 is a very big number, Mr. Sabarov. That is enough to buy, like, 30 pork chops. And I don't know about you, but I think 30 pork chops is worth the life of a man. Wouldn't you say? Was this side of the road infected like a minute ago? I mean, it must have been. I didn't notice that it was. I didn't come from here though, did I? I came from further down. 2 bottles of Twirine. Yeah, but everything you trade is very expensive. I guess we'll go through the stinky district just because I can't be bothered going back and detouring. Plus, there's a potential. There's a potential here. There's a potential. You have potential, little lady. No, you don't. You're fucking useless. Never let anyone tell you that you have potential. Never let anyone get your hopes and dreams up like that ever again, because you don't deserve it. You are dead to me. As are you, because you don't do anything useful. Like, It's a shame that women get murdered in the street in this game, but of all the people to get murdered in the street, I think they're the best ones. Because they don't really do anything useful. So, like, from a purely selfish perspective, kill all the women. What are they gonna do? Mend my clothes? Mend my single pair of gloves or whatever I have? Yeah, that's gonna be game-changing for me, isn't it? We don't have a lot of time left today to get this quest done. I'm going for it. I'm boldly going for it just because I think I kind of ran out of other things to do today, right? Victor said that my word first. Think he would appreciate if I provided the evidence of how thorough the inspector was. I believe the dead looter's belongings will serve this purpose just fine. Do I need to go back to Victor? Whatever. I believe I can still deal with grief first. I believe in my capabilities. Are we just gonna go in and kill grief then? Is that how this is gonna work? I'll probably just have a conversation with him and see if we can come to an arrangement. This is the sort of game where that'll be a possibility, I think. Because I don't think... I don't know, I've never tried, but I don't think you can just murder like important NPCs, right, in this game? You know, I can't believe I've genuinely never tried it. Maybe you can. I thought you could only, like, obviously you can just murder randos in the street, but I didn't realise. Yeah, actually we'll take all of that. We'll take all of that. That seems like a good deal. 2 pocket watches for a bunch of drugs. These kids will never know what hit them. Hey, can I have some bullets? Why do you only ever sell 1? How is that useful to me? I guess maybe we do that. Get the infection pills as well, they'll probably be helpful. Stock up on essential things. And I just found another silver bracelet just walking around. That's pretty convenient considering I'm trading them away at a pretty rapid pace. Yay! Happy times! I should have saved before coming in here. I'm gonna save now, I think. I'm gonna save right this second. There's a lot of bad men in here. 3 stabbies, and that other bloke might get involved as well.
Changeling has grassed on Ripper, eh? That's a sly fox if I ever saw one.
Oh,
Trust
how
the
it?
first come or not, she'll have her way with you too.
Are you done talking? Can I talk now? Oh, how it hurts to have your neck strangled. It does. The Sabarov asshole has ordered his patrols to make warehouses too hot for us to loot. Like we ain't no free folks. We're doing the suffering for our fellow men's sins. Oh, really? And you are the righteous people, I suppose. My folks have never taken knives to the streets. So we had a gathering yesterday. Here goes me saying. Anyone knife hungry is welcome to get the fuck out of here. You ain't no brother to us. You don't want no blood on our hands. Or we don't want no blood on our hands. So Barley the barber did. Got up and lost. I'm just surprised when this game says swears because I don't think it has done before. I think this might be the only NPC that does it. The cunt who went away to slaughter honest folks, and some of us went away with him too. Who's Barley? A filthy blood-sucking butcher is what he is. He's got one joy, killing them folks. Nothing is sacred for the cunt, and the rest of them bloodthirsty skunks have gone with him, they have. So 'tis for their misdeeds that we endure persecution. 'Tis for their sins that Sabarov sets his rabid mongrels after us. I can see that he's hit a raw nerve in you. They multiply by the hour, they do. Every low fucking town wants them in on Barley's deal. You can find their pest hole and kick them out of there, eh, Doc? They've got a dreadful lot of them, folks, and where all the innocent blood flows from. I'll do the supplying part for you then. You'll be swimming in bullets and monies. Nothing's too good for a holy cause. Let the cunt bleed dry. That sounds like something you should go to a doctor about. Okay, I'll kill him. Both ammo and money will be greatly appreciated. Ah, you kindest soul, I swear to you, I won't forget that in forever. As soon as the deed's done, come back here and I'll shower you in gifts. Do I have your honest, truest, best word? You do. Keep the fee at hand, I'll be back soon. Interesting. I assume I won't get Sabarov's reward if I get griefs, but honestly, I have to go back to Sabarov now. I kind of hoped he'd just mark this this barley fellow on the map, but he hasn't. He's just marked Sabarov again. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to do that if I've got to go see Victor as well. We'll see. Can I get out along here? I can't get out along here, can I? God damn it, talk about wasting time. Very limited in the time we've got to get these quests done. Probably not going to get both of them, but I'll give it my best shot, alright? That's all I can promise anyone. If I was a more dedicated 100%er, I'd load an earlier save file and try and get both done, because I feel like I have wasted a bit of time today, but you know, obviously there's very good rewards to come from either Grief or Sabarov for our various quests, but says I. I can't even remember what I was doing for Victor. I've completely lost track. I've not been playing a great deal recently. You may have noticed from the complete lack of uploads, because I got a new job and I'm looking into moving house, which is quite a challenge. It's kind of taken up a lot of my waking time. You know, not only packing, but just trying to find a place that's appropriate. I spend an awful lot of time on the phone to estate agents at the moment, like a ridiculous amount of time on the phone to estate agents. The rental market is absolutely fucked, I'll tell you what. Like, every time I'll see a listing go up, and by the end of the day, that listing will have been taken by someone. That's how fucking insane it is right now. And the prices are crazy as well. Like, they've gone up like at least double since I was renting. I mean, I'm a proud homeowner at the moment, but prior to this, I was renting, and yeah, prices have gone up a lot in like the last sort of 18 months. It's fucking crazy. I don't know how people afford to do it. Like, I'm looking at the absolute cheapest end of the market because I'm planning on buying again once I'm settled in the new location. But oh boy, I don't know how you can rent long term. Just don't have any income left as far as I'm concerned. Couldn't save up for a deposit now, you know. I've come to the wrong house, god damn it. Too busy talking about real life bullshit. The estate agents don't give a shit either. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. They're clearly getting so many applicants that they just can't even be bothered giving you a proper time of day.
What?
I don't wish to think that we're being eaten alive, but how fast it's spreading, that might be true. Still too early to give up. Okay, I guess we didn't need to go back to Victor. I guess this was a waste of time. Shall we? Yeah, we'll load. We'll load. We'll focus on the other quest. Yeah, the amount of shit I've had from estate agents recently, like, one of them emailed me my own application. Like, they forwarded it to me for my consideration as if I was the landlord. One of them sent me, they asked me to do a credit check on myself, which is absolutely insane. They can't even be bothered to do credit checks anymore. I'm just going to try and click the right things I clicked last time. There we go. And also sent me like a 6-page document of personal details to fill in. It isn't just like, hey, what's your income? Do you have any pets? Do you smoke anymore? They want like your entire history and references and all sorts. It's absolutely fucking insane. There was another one who just emailed me the most brokenly formatted email in the world, where like it was 1 character per line. It just went down indefinitely. The email was like, like the scroll bar was like a tiny little dot as I was scrolling down this massive email, because it was just all completely formatted, like top to bottom. It's absolutely broken. There was another one as well. I'm trying to remember. I've just had nothing but. Oh, it's a brilliant one. I've got a dog. Obviously, I've mentioned him before. So obviously, the first thing on my lips when I speak to these people is, you know, will the landlord accept a dog in the property? And I just had like the most unhinged conversation. It was completely by email because I was just done with phone calls at that point, and I was at work as well, so I was just bouncing emails back and forth when I had a spare 5 minutes. And it was like, I asked them if the landlord accepts pets at the property. The response was, the landlord is open to the consideration of pets at the property, assuming the landlord accepts the pet. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I was like, well, does the landlord accept the pet? And they replied, the landlord is taking into consideration the possibility of pets at the property, but would have to first authorize the pet. I was like, well, how do I get my pet authorized? It just went back and forth like this for about 6 emails. And it was just like, do you want me to rent this property off you or not? Like, what is wrong with you? Just gonna keep talking in like vagaries, like concepts, overarching theories of pet existence. It's like Schrodinger's pet. We bring order to this place with an iron fist. Grief insists he has nothing to do with it. The murderers are misfits that he cast out of his community. Are you sure? He swears that he has forbidden anyone who is still loyal to the ancient tradition of their brotherhood from touching a knife. The murderers are not warehouse men. They are allies of some Barley the Butcher. Yes, I've heard that name. His men ambushed and slaughtered the patrolman near the boiler house. We need to hunt down and kill him, then. Better yet, hunt down and thoroughly interrogate him. See if he confirms Grief's words. Grief's words. Let's leave Grief alone for now. Order your patrolman back to Barley's hideout. Alright. Off we go then. I feel like I'm right at the end of finishing this other quest though. I mean, that's what we did. Victor said that my word will suffice. Still, I think he'd appreciate if I provided some evidence of how thorough the inspection was. I believe that a dead looter's belongings will serve this purpose just fine. Oh, that's what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to go into a house actually here, wasn't it? This place, and kill a looter. Let's just save real quick. And we'll overwrite, fuck it. Yeah, back up. That, motherfuckers, is what looters do. That is why you do not fuck with looters in this game. Holy shit, man. Absolutely destroyed. Okay, we're gonna have to use a gun here. It is possible to kill these guys with a knife, but it is impossible to not get backed into a corner, and if you get backed into a corner, then it's just over. Okay, alright. Change of plan. We leave, we equip the gun, we re-enter, because we're clearly not going to have time to. My epic gamer reactions aren't keen enough to whip the gun out in time here. Oh boy. But yeah, in a nutshell, my real life is weirdly similar to Pathologic at the moment. Just endless suffering in circles. Thank you. Okay, so hopefully that item that the looter dropped will be what we need to give to Victor. I do not know if we're going to have time for it, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Also, don't know how many bullets I've got left in this thing. I might hold on to it for now, depending. Because I get the feeling we're going to have to deal with probably a few of this guy's men. This Barley's friends. His posse. So it might be helpful to come equipped with a weapon a bit more dangerous than a knife. I'm hesitant to like waste all my bullets because I feel like I'm definitely going to need them down the line, but you know, Pathologic is a game that's not necessarily about, like, stockpiling is good, but getting through the day is better. Why hold on to things when you can, you know, survive? It's just good sense, I think. Okay, we want to go this way. Isn't this that same building I went into on Big Vlad's orders earlier in this same day? Right? It's the same warehouse, the one that we're going to use for the hospital or the morgue or something. We're going to use it for something. I believe. We know we can't get in down that side. We established this before, Joe. Come on. Engage the brain, Yosef. Engage it. Oh, it's not actually this building. It's one of these others. Is it just like this area? I'm confused. Is it in here? What the fuck? It's just like on a fence. Oh. I can't leave. Well. That was a turn of events. That's definitely the building we want to go to by the looks of it. That seems to be the one. Just fucking 3 of them in there. Oh, okay. Alright. I mean, yeah, coming out with a gun was definitely a good idea, but I need to actually be ready for it, I think. If I just started shooting instead of trying to back out and play it quote unquote safe, probably would have had an easier time of it, but oh, what? Not wasting a bullet. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Not happening. Not happening, unfortunately. Every bullet counts in this game. You've seen what I've had to trade for this ammo, right? You've seen the amount of jingly-jangly bracelets and other exciting accoutrements that I've traded for my 16 whole bullets, so we're gonna fucking make use of them. Wait till you see the whites of their eyes, lads. Okay. Yeah, not a great deal of time to get everything done, unfortunately. I feel like I'm spreading myself too thin. I should just be hard committing to one choice or another, really, but nah, fuck it. We're going to try and get everything done. I don't think I'm going to get back to Victor in time, but honestly, killing that one dude wasn't a major detour or anything, right? It wasn't a too taxing a thing to do. Bad Grief's whole shit seems to be the more pressing matter, though, just because of how big the reward seems to be. I don't know if both of them are going to give me the reward. Both Grief and Alexander, not Alexi, are gonna pay up, or if just one of them will. But either way, either reward seems like it's going to be worth more than whatever Victor feels like giving me for whatever that item is I looted off that nerd, right? Okay. Fuck. 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 Why aren't you dying? What? How many of them are? Holy shit, there's like 8 of them! What is this? What is this? What is this quest? This is unheard of in Pathologic. I just want to make this very clear. This amount of dudes in one room is like unhinged levels of silliness. 1, 2. I sure love that reload time. That's not gonna bite me in the arse or anything, is it? Okay. Okay. I can one-shot them. I just have to be super sure I'm hitting them in the head from close distance. And it seems like was it 4 shots I get? 6 would make sense, right? That's normally what these sort of guns do, but I was not counting. Why does that third one just not die? Took a big gamble on there not being one behind me there, didn't I? Okay, what was the benefit of all that? Was one of these the dude I was looking for? I didn't see my quest update or anything. I can leave again now. I'm so confused. Can't go back in. Do I just return to Victor now? I mean, Grief's closer, right? Let's go to Grief. I mean, was one of them Barley? There wasn't like a distinctive looking one, but then I shouldn't really be surprised there wasn't a distinctive looking one. This game is very limited in its models. I don't know, man. I don't even know if that was worth it. Like, the fact that I can't go back in again makes me feel like I've done what I was sent there to do. But maybe I just missed something, and this being Pathologic, it just felt like giving me a big middle finger for daring not to fully investigate the warehouse before I left, you know? Oh, fuck. Oh, come on. Why is this place such a fucking maze? Because it's Pathologic, I know. I don't need a natural answer for that. I know exactly what this game does and why it behaves the way it does. It makes everything arduous and frustrating because that's the nature of the experience. Hey, Grief. I killed your friend, possibly.
Changeling has grassed on Ripper, eh? That's a sly fox if I ever saw one.
So, Doc, do yesterday's
First
stiffs
come or
visit
not,
you in your sleep?
She'll have her way with you too.
It's over, Grief. Your former buddies are no more. That's what I call a job well done, Doc. I'll remember not to get on your bad side. You promised me something. My word is solid, it is. I promised to shower you in gifts, so I will. Here are the monies. Do not grieve for it, Grief. Your money will find its way back to you in time. 10k. Alright. He said ammo as well. Did I get ammo? No, but 10k. What is the time? Okay, we got time. We got time left. I'm going to save in a separate slot. I'm going to head to Alexander first. And then I might still be able to squeak out getting to Victor in time as well. I'm going to have to make sure not to path quite as badly as I have been doing recently, though. Optimal pathing only from here on out. This is optimal pathing, right? Yeah, thank fuck. I suddenly thought there might be a blockade here that I'd just completely forgotten about. And I'm aware I need healing, by the way. I can see my health is low, but I'm not really expecting that to be an issue between now and finishing today's events. So priorities are not stopping to bandage myself, unfortunately. Sometimes you just have to bleed out in favour of completing quests. That's just the way it goes, you know? God, why does he have to live so far north? Why does he have to be so far away from everything? There's fuck all else up there. But Mr. Alexander, Mr. Sabarov himself, is like, you know what? I think I'm gonna build my mansion miles away from literally everyone else, just because fuck you, Joe. That's why. Fuck Joe specifically. It's actually going to be a pretty good gauge of how long it takes to walk across town, because it was just before 10 o'clock when I started. Cool. So I'll know exactly what time it is. I'll check the time after doing this, and then walk all the way to Victor's, and that should tell me how much time it takes to do things.
Death can be looked at without winking.
The barber's lair is destroyed. Everyone I found there is dead. Good, then we shall root out crime with extreme prejudice. This won't be enough. Many say there are now hundreds of robbers, that 1 in 5 leaves their home knife in hand at night. They're driven to this despair by the lack of order. There are plenty of bad examples turning townsfolk into killers. Fear shall be our weapon. When those family men see how mercilessly we deal with murderers, they'll think twice before touching a knife. If only it were that simple. I wish to reward your heroism. I hope you will accept this money. Perhaps it will at least partially compensate the unavoidable expenses that will come with your dangerous work. Yes, I will. 5k? But you said 30. You said 30 earlier. Where's my money? I suppose it was 30 specifically for killing Grief, and I didn't kill Grief. I killed other people, but I feel like killing Grief would have been easier. He only had 3 bodyguards. What was there 8 of them in that room? I genuinely lost track. I used considerably more than 8 bullets doing it, and lost quite a bit of health. So the time is 22:19. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it in time. It will be a little bit tight, probably, but we'll do it. Probably about an hour to walk across town, I think. If I were to hazard a guess. As I say, we'll get some slightly more concrete evidence on that from doing this right now. It's not something I've ever timed before, you know? I've just always sort of rolled with the punches a little bit when it comes to getting from A to B. I believe time freezes when you talk to people, so I'm still going to stop to trade. I'm in need of these sort of things right now. Okay, yeah, there's no easy way of crossing, so I have to just go due south for a bit. Ugh. Oh. My dinner repeating on me there. Had a proper fucking bachelor. That's the title of this. I had a bachelor's dinner tonight. I really did. I couldn't be bothered going shopping on my way home from work, so I was just like, whatever's in the freezer, which turned out to be 2 chicken thighs and some Bombay potatoes. I mean, I enjoyed it. I like chicken. I like curry. It worked for me. I never held myself up as a particular paragon of the culinary arts, I'll admit. Yeah, food. Got a proper taste of Bombay in my mouth now, though. Proper repeating on me, that is. Come back full force to bring me the flavours of South Asia. And I'm all for it, honestly. With time to spare, Victor. If I can actually get to you.
I feel as though my blood is getting thicker.
I've inspected the district. I'll take it upon myself to confirm that the rumours are true. The district is clean, and a little freer of looters now. Good tidings, this will help ease the fate of the epidemic's latest victims. Even better than you think, if we can prevent unnecessary commotion and keep the healthy in isolation wards, we'll stop the disease. It will burn out like a forest fire. Are you now certain that the disease won't stay dormant in an infected person for a while before revealing itself? I dare not doubt your expertise. However, until we've established the origin of the infection, it's too easy to declare the enemy defeated. Yes, you're right, but the ward will become operational soon. I hope you won't be offended, but it's going to set up in the town's cathedral. I have very high hopes for the facility. Indeed. Well, it was conceived as a shelter for those in need. Now it can finally fulfill its intended function. With it, we'll quickly learn the duration of the mysterious fever's latent phase. No reward? No reward, I guess. I just did a nice thing for Victor. I suppose the reward was being able to loot the house. It was a tutorial, right? It was to teach me that after an area is infected, it becomes looted, and then you can kill the looters to loot the house for yourself. I never really established that when I was playing through before. I realised there were districts that were full of looters, but I didn't realise it was like an area became like that after having been infected. I never put two and two together like that. So, thanks for that information, I guess, Victor. I'm never going in those buildings though, because it's just so fucking dangerous. Those looters, like, if I hadn't wasted a bullet, and don't get me wrong, that bullet was wasted. If I hadn't wasted a bullet on killing that dude, then I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like, you can't kill those guys with a knife unless you want to really dedicate some time to doing it. Not without taking a buttload of damage anyway. Right, okay, so how are my stats looking? I'm actually not that tired. I was going to sleep off my, take some Meridom and sleep off my injuries, but I think maybe I'll just use some consumables instead. Do thankfully have a pretty good supply of these. I noticed I was getting a little bit hungry as well though, so eat up the rest of my rations. Gonna have to buy some more of those. Gonna have to do something about this inventory. I mean, to be fair, it's not like I'm gonna want to put anything else in it. Maybe one less knife. I had a terrifying feeling for a second there that knife was going to come through the railings, even though I know for a fact this game isn't that sophisticated. There was just a moment, a glimpse of me dying and having to redo all of that progress again. So I am saving now, I think. Do not want the gun, we want the knife. Ah, fuck. Good thing I just saved, eh? Oh, don't get me wrong, after all of that time I just spent combating, I'm going straight back to the knife. We're not using the gun anymore, and I'm going to make sure I have a... Shit. It didn't click. It didn't click. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I have a flawless fight with these guys. Don't want to chew through all those bandages too quickly. Oh. I was not ready. I was not ready. What the fuck? You have to like keep the menu open for like half a second after clicking the knife, or else it doesn't actually register that you've equipped it. That's my problem, I'm closing the menu too quickly. You have to give it a second for the animation of him actually pulling the knife out to start. It's very annoying. And I still didn't do it right. Here's a thought. Here's a big brain play that nobody's truly expecting. That nobody could possibly think of other than yours truly, the smartest man to ever play a video game. Watch this snazzy maneuver. I call it the coward's gambit. And he's gone, look at that. Just like that, he ceased to exist. Poof, he vanished into thin air. Do you think I can get back across town and loot the building that I emptied out? I can't even remember which one it was, to be fair. I know it was one of them, like one of these two, maybe this one at a push. But I don't think I can get over there in time. And I assume everything resets at midnight, so yeah, guess we'll just wander about. Guess we'll just have a stroll. Wait for a new day to dawn. I should probably go... I was going to say I should go to a stabby area. This is very clearly is a stabby area, because there was a man just trying to stab me here moments ago. Silly me. You know what? I never do this. And I mean never. But I've got a bit of disposable income right now. What can I buy? Drapery. Okay, don't know what that's for. Repellent ankle boots. I mean, I can afford them. Provide no protection against blows and rat bites. Oh, cool. Disposable gloves. I've got non-disposable gloves, which are probably better. Those boots are expensive though, man. I'll bear it in mind though. Because you can get, like, they increase your, or I should say decrease the amount of infection you build up, I believe, certain items, certain pieces of clothing. And they also reduce the damage you take and stuff like that. So, like, it's a good investment, I think, to actually buy clothes, now that I have some money. But at the same time, it's like, that money could be spent on eating. Which, as ever, is the big bugbear of this playthrough, isn't it? Just making sure I have enough food. Always seems to be food, specifically, that gets me down in these games. It's always the one you really struggle with. Immunity boosters are... Actually, I haven't checked my immunity. Yeah, my immunity could actually use a top-up. But these are pretty easy to get your hands on. Like, infection's obviously a struggle, but in Artemy's playthrough he could cure it himself, and it seems like I can get immunity, you know, things that take a good chunk of my immunity off. They're relatively easy just by trading with kids. So it's not... That's not the end of the world either, particularly. Exhaustion is just finding a bed. Health... Well, you can see how much medicine I've got for curing my health, but food... There's just, like, no good way of getting it. Like, no one really trades for food aside from guardsmen, and they ask a lot for it. A lot of stuff I don't really have. And then shops just charge out the arse for it. I don't particularly want to pay for the fresh stuff either, because it's so much more expensive, and from what I remember isn't much better. I think it is slightly better, but not like double the price better, you know. You want to get good value for money when it comes to food in this game. Okay. Ooh, there's something to do. There's something to occupy my time. Is he not chucking his knife? Huh. Odd. I'm not complaining, because the knife throw is the most dangerous part of these fights, but... Ah! Oh yeah, it's all about the knife throw, that's the dangerous part. Immediately gets stabbed. Immediately has a knife sunk holster deep? Handguard deep into his chest. Handguard deep. Do the knives even... No, they don't actually have a handguard, do they? They're just... They're just a blade in a piece of wood. These aren't weapons, these are culinary tools that people are just going to stab him with. This isn't fucking Dungeons and Dragons. This isn't World of Warcraft where everyone has a big fancy purple blade that shits particles everywhere. This is a piece of metal that makes people die, you know? It's brutalist. Matches the game perfectly. The knife is a synonym
The
of
day
the...
is over.
Oh.
Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
Want to wrap up the video by going to see the mime performance? This is more expensive than it was yesterday. I think I've got a lot of money. It's clearly not going to go very far. I'm going to try and be... I'm only going to buy the food I absolutely need, I think, today, because that's expensive. Veggies are 1,000, then meat and fish will be like 1,200, something like that. 1,400 maybe. Yeah, it's not exactly good value for money. I'll eat enough to keep myself alive and call it at that. I did just get a letter, didn't I? Oh, it's just my evening letter from the powers that be. It's quite a wall of text. Fuck it, we'll read it. We have been informed that you have had... Very good, Joe. Well done. Round of applause. We have been informed that you have composed a set of instructions for the civilians and initiated the preparation of the town to combat the epidemic. You have ordered the establishment of a hospital and an isolation ward and are working on setting up other institutions, the morgue to name one, that the town was previously lacking. The decisions place you in the context of higher responsibility. No longer an army of one, you have decided to mobilize the population to fight the disease alongside you, since your personal accomplishments were not enough. Hey, rude! We expect that the measures you have taken are temporary. Speaking of what may be described as the microclimate of the town, we don't want any irreversible changes to take place. In particular, we hope that the instructions you have issued would not lead to any undesirable moods among the local townsfolk. We would rather avoid mass psychosis, depression, or panic that are sometimes characteristic of situations like this. Please keep in mind that when we offered to cease the persecution of your laboratory and to facilitate your research, we meant that as a reward for you being able to find a surgically precise solution to the problem. It is of no importance to us if you do it yourself or instigate the Inquisitor to do it on your behalf. So what they're saying is they're disappointed in me, not because I'm not, addressing the situation, but because I'm not doing it fucking quietly enough. Asshats. I thought this wasn't actually supposed to be used as a theatre anymore. What say you, friend? Spare some change for a poor miserable actor, give him food. Yours truly would gladly gobble down anything, even a piece of infected meat from the forbidden storage. I'm so desperate to live, just a couple more days to witness the ending. And the miserable actor is you? That's my persona, a miserable actor, although in all honesty, there are no happy masks in The Fatal Loss, and I'll have you know that it's a classical mime play that's been on the stage of our theatre for several generations. It only has bold masks, just masks and miserable masks. I've only seen two masks so far, the miserable one and the bold one, I presume. It has a remarkably bold beak. You are mistaken, that's not a beak, but rather a talon. No, Bachelor, you've seen the miserable mask and the just mask, that is to say, the punishing one. The bold mask is you. Oh my, you must be joking. God will provide. Okay, why are you begging? We've been thrown out of the theatre. The Fatal Loss one is now performed right on the streets, but our impresario is convinced that it's for the best. After all, The Fatal Loss is as tragic a play as it gets. Just see the sick people dancing, hear the squirming of those whose mouths have been sewn shut. They'll make for perfect extras. Seems like your troupe is about to become very wealthy very soon. The audience is enormous, but alas, very few of its members are actually financially reliable. Their pockets may be stuffed with coins, but their arms are twisted by the heartless fever that won't let them give away their property. Keep your chin up.
One of them is trying to fight. Who? This one. The other two will try to thwart their efforts, though.
Interesting. Will they fall into the trap?
I wonder. Look what they've turned the theater into.
I hope they know what they're doing. Unavoidably, blood will be shed tomorrow.
They're saying the Haruspecs and the Changeling are going to start getting in my way as of tomorrow, by the sounds of it. I look forward to finally interacting with them, to be honest. I did speak to Clara very briefly, didn't I? But still haven't seen Artemy yet. He's out there somewhere, I know it. Oh. And thus it begins. What a nice morgue. We'll end this episode here, I think. I'll see you next time. Bye.